women, some were youth, some politicians, religious leaders, businessmen, all assembled here. And after lengthy deliberation, after the report was presented by the experts and people deliberated, we then retreated to the stadium where we were yesterday to launch the BBI. And that's where the reggae started. And that's why yesterday I said we decided to come here yesterday. And I said today we decided deliberately with the president to come and receive the report here in Kisii. Because this is where it started. And reggae ilipotoka hapa kanguruma huko magharibi. As we said here, the Kisii spoke a lot about issues affecting the Kisii region, issues which are specific to this region. Like you've seen the soapstone products outside there. We talked about them. We talked about minerals generally in this area. They talked about agriculture. They talked about industries in this region. Down around the lake there, they talked about fishing industry. They talked about sugar industry, that area. They talked about groundnuts growing, about cotton and industrialization generally in that area, and also issues of infrastructure. The couriers came with the issues because couriers are in Migori County, and they are saying that they don't think they're getting their fair share. Some people are making noise. I said, no, that's why we're doing these consultations. Let everybody speak. Then we can be able to find a solution. As we moved on, it turned out it was not just only couriers having this problem. If you went to Western, the suburbs of Mount Kenya were talking about how they're also not being fairly treated there. They're not getting their rights. The Tesos in Busia had similar issues. So we then say that we must find a way in this new constitution in which we find a way of how we can isolate problems affecting minorities and finding how to address them. Tulipotoka Ingo tumekaenda huko Mombasa. Kule watu wa pwani wakafoka, wakakohoa. Mambo ya madini, they talked about. They talked about the blue economy in the coast. They talked about historical land marginalization, including Mazrui land rights and all those sort of things. So very serious issues were raised. Then from there to Kaenda Ukambani. The campus also talked about issues of drought, issues of famine, issues of national calamities, and also infrastructure. Tukaenda huko Narok. Narok pale Wamasai waliongea. They talked about issues of land there, how their land had been invaded. There's certain specific land that they talked about, and they wanted a solution to the issue of land. They talked about pastoralism as a way of life, and how you can do value addition, things like putting up a meat processing plant in Narok. Then they talked about the game park, which you have Masai Mara, and then you have also Amboseli, and that they wanted these to be under the counties. We then went to Garissa, and in Garissa, Wariahi, walikohoa, from Mandera, Wajir, all the way up to Garissa. But even to the people from Marsabit joined at Isiolo. And they talked about issues of pastoralism, there, issues of infrastructure, issues of education, issues of security generally, the threat to Al-Shabaab and so on. And all this, we agreed need to be addressed. From there tukaenda huko milimani, Mount Kenya, kule Meru. Watu wa milima kutoka huko Nakuru mpaka Tharaka Nithi waliongea shida zao, the issues of land, issues of industrialization, issues of infrastructure, and issues of equity. The issue of 1 man, 1 shilling was very loud there. So that each and every Kenyan gets their rights here. So through this process, we managed to really get what is ailing Kenya, what are the problems. So it was not a useless exercise. Some people can stand and say, oh, waste of time. We need to address the issues of poverty, watu wa chini, watu wadogo, and so what? How do you address them if you don't know them? So he said, if you want the Kenyan to speak, and the Kenyan spoke, somebody will come and say, today is when you have now discovered that kuna watu wadogo. You want to have a conversation about the people, the poor man, the common man, the mkokoteni, the driver, mtu wa wheelbarrow, and so on. But you have been there all this time. Did you come from heaven? You didn't drop from heaven like an angel. You've been around. Is it the first time you have now discovered that there are what mkokoteni? And the issues of haves and have-nots. If you're really concerned, why do you give them wheelbarrows? Why don't you give them your helicopter? We are going to talk to the people of Kenya. The Kenyans must know the truth. That this, sisi si watu wazimu. Mimi na ndugu yangu tuliamua tutaenda njia hii kwa sababu tunajua hii ndio njia ya kukomboa Kenya. There's no other way. This is how we're going to do it. And as Thomas said, the conversation is now beginning. And I'm sure shortly we are going to be able to get a consensus. The issue of gender inclusivity, for example, in Parliament. And we say that we take Parliament as an institution, National Assembly and the Senate. And then once we put that together, then we deal with the issue of gender parity there. And we are determined to achieve that now, before the next elections. So we are open to everything else. So Kenya, the new Kenya, need to be born. And this is what we want. We said we want to bequeath a better society to the future generation. It is not about making Raila Odinga president or making Uhuru Kenyatta a prime minister. That is so far from it. That is propaganda. The facts are those that we have said. So we want to thank these eminent Kenyans for agreeing and taking up the challenge and burning the midnight oil to come up with this document. I want it to be understood that these are recommendations which they've come with as an after engagement with the people of Kenya. They are not cast in stone. They've given it to us. We will look at them, and we will also give it to our people to look at. And then hereafter, we will come up now with the final document, which we are going to take. The roadmap is we are going to collect signatures. We want signatures to be collected. And then we will take it to the Electoral Commission. And from there, it will go to the county assemblies. And we hope that we can get 24 county assemblies to approve within 1 week. And thereafter, we go to Bunge. From there, tunaenda kwa wananchi wa Kenya. Sasa wewe sema yako, sisi tutasema yetu. Wakenya wataamua. Na wakiamua, wewe, sisi tutakubali matokeo ya Wakenya. Vile Wakenya watakuwa wataamua. Hiyo ndio demokrasia vile inafanya kazi.